to Core and Floor Fitness Circle. I'm Heather Christine. I'm so eager for you to get to know a little bit more about Core and Floor and to be able to tell you a little bit about myself. So my foundational knowledge is I'm a physical therapist licensed here in the state of Minnesota. The other hats that I wear are that I am a birth doula and a lactation educator counselor. I'm also a childbirth educator for evidence-based birth. And I'm also a Moo2 Pro, which means that I can teach regarding Moo2 System, which is an online program for core and pelvic floor rehabilitation. And I have taught for them. I learned the system in the UK, and then I taught for them in California. Now it's been over a year ago, and continue to help people with that recovery. A major piece of Core and Floor Fitness Circle comes from Moo2 and also comes from my physical therapy background as well, and the fact that I'm also a yoga teacher. At Studio 6, I also teach prenatal yoga, bliss yoga, and baby yoga. Now, some of you might be wondering, what is Core and Floor Fitness Circle? The core is an obvious one that most of us have heard about. We, in this class, definitely work our core, which is more than just your abdominal muscles. Your core consists of all of the muscles that attach to your spine and to your pelvis. That's a whole lot of muscles. And those muscles are super important, not only for strength, to give us stability, but also to have range of motion. The floor part is about pelvic floor. And oftentimes people see this class or know about my credentials and they think it's only for pregnancy or postpartum. This class is for anyone with a pelvic floor. So that means it's for you because you do have a pelvic floor. And if you are a man, you have a pelvic floor as well. So this class is both for men and women, people of all genders. Fitness Circle comes from the fact that oftentimes we hear about boot camps, and anyone who wants to name their class a boot camp, that is just fine with them. I wanted to name it something different that sounded more inclusive, like we were coming together to work on this, to join in community. That's the circle part of coming together. And we do a check-in at every class. It can be very brief. We can also do a check-in outside of class as well, so that I know a little bit about what's going on with you. But that's the fitness circle part of it, is that coming together instead of kind of this energy of aggression. It's about healing, strength, stability, and for some people, recovery. All right. With that, we're gonna do a little mini session, and it will just really be the tip of the iceberg. In Core and Floor Fitness Circle, we do mat core work, standing core work. The equipment that we sometimes use, a Pilates ball. You could also use a pillow or a block for most of the activities that we do with a ball. Sometimes we use a resistance strap. You could use a towel, and you just wouldn't have the stretch of that, and I can always modify for that. Sometimes we use a looped band. Again, you don't have to have those pieces of equipment to do class. Also, we do a mix of yoga. There's yoga that is worked into our session. We do low impact barefoot cardio. So what that means is that we're not jumping because it's low impact. We use our body weight for all of the resistance that we do with our core work, our strength work, and our cardio, and we're barefoot. We're not wearing shoes. And that's different for a lot of people who are used to wearing shoes. Shoes do have a little bit of a heel that changes our alignment and it changes our posture. And so that's an important element of Core and Floor Fitness Circle, is that we're barefoot. All right, let's go ahead and begin. If you have a ball, grab a ball. If you have a pillow, grab a pillow. We are just going to use this to help cue the core breath that we use throughout our session. This core breath works with our anatomy. As you go ahead and set your ball down and bring your hands to your rib cage, and your fingers are spreading out on your belly as well. We're going to use our anatomy to engage those deep core muscles. On an inhale, draw your breath in and feel what happens in your hands. So inhale, and then exhale that breath out. Do that 2 more times. And exhale it out. You can go ahead and keep your hands there. Did you notice as you continue to do that on your inhale, things expand? You're taking in your breath, your belly has to expand, your pelvic floor softens. On your exhale, as that breath leaves, hopefully you felt that your belly kind of goes in, your rib cage drop down. That is an opportunity for us to lift and engage through pelvic floor. So as your pelvic diaphragm, so where you breathe, as you take a breath in, your pelvic diaphragm goes down, as your breath diaphragm goes down. As you exhale, the two work together. They work in concert with one another. And we're going to use that as we move through our core exercises. That is your core breath. With your ball, it's gonna help cue you on an inhale. Let's work to find a nice tall spine. Oftentimes with work that we do, driving or sitting, maybe you are taking care of children and you're flexed forward, we can be in a very tail tucked position, in a C curve, almost like we're doing cat and cow. We want to come out of that position and allow yourself to feel your sits bones, that bony part of your pelvis underneath your rear, sometimes even adjusting yourself so you can find your sits bones. And there is an arch and just a gentle curve to your low back when you sit up nice and tall. Shoulders are more alignment with your hips so that you're seated nice and tall. Chest and heart center is open, but your ribs are soft. You're not standing at attention. Relaxing through your chest. Bring your ball up to, or your pillow up to chest level. Your eyes can stay open, or if you'd like to go inward, you can allow your eyes to close. On an inhale, draw your breath in. Feel how you expand. Feel softness through your belly, through your bottom. On your exhale, give a 50% squeeze to your ball, and as you do, begin to hug in through your belly and lift up through your pelvic floor like a kegel. Inhale, release, let everything expand and find soft. On an exhale, give a squeeze, draw in those deep core muscles like you're tightening a corset or hugging in around your belly. Inhale, you let all of that go as you expand. We're gonna do it 2 more times. Exhale, give the ball a squeeze, draw in through your pelvic floor as you hug in through your belly. Inhale, you release that, find soft, expand. 1 more exhale, engage. Draw in, hug in, find that kegel, and then release. That's your core breath. We're gonna continue with that, but in a different position. So make your way down onto your back. As you make your way onto your back, your head and gaze is going to be looking up towards the ceiling and towards the sky. I'm going to look at you. You can look up toward the ceiling and sky. Your feet are about hip width distance apart, so check in with that. Your ball is going to go, or your pillow, between your thighs. And your legs are about that same width distance apart. Relax through your rib cage. Let's do just a few pelvic tilts. So you're rocking your pelvis front to back. You're not doing a full bridge. You're massaging your low back on your mat because we want to find that more neutral position. Just like we did in seated, when we were seated on our sits bones, we want to avoid being in a tail tucked position or imprint where our low back is pressing down against the mat. It's not functional for this activity that we're doing. We want to back away from that cat pose or tucked tail so that there might be a little bit of space underneath your low back, and that might be something new for you. Try it right there and see how that feels. Your arms are going to go down to your side. Again, your gaze is up toward the ceiling, so go ahead and listen to my verbal cues. On an inhale, same core breath, expand through your rib cage, soft through your bottom. On an exhale, 50% squeeze to the ball between your thighs. Just feel your inner thighs. Inhale, release your inner thighs as you release the squeeze on the ball. We're gonna add on. Exhale, give the ball a squeeze, find your inner thighs, lift up through your pelvic floor. Inhale, let that all go as you inhale a deep and full breath. Exhale now, inner thighs, you feel that squeeze drop through your pelvic floor, hug in through your belly. Keep that going. Inhale, notice I'm not lifting up in bridge. On an exhale, draw everything in. I'm not doing a sit-up. I'm not excessively squeezing my glutes because all of this work is deeper. Your pelvic floor is deeper. Your transverse abdominal muscle is deeper. So there's not a lot that you see on the outside with this exercise. Again, you're going deeper. Inhale, find soft. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, give the ball a squeeze, 50%. Inner thighs lift through your pelvic floor like a kegel, hug in through your belly, belly button in and up towards heart center. One more. Inhale, let that all go. Soft through your bottom. Expand with your breath. Exhale, engage all of those muscles again. Good. And then release. Take the ball out. Hug your knees into your chest. So give your knees a hug. Roll out your low back. And if this is brand new to you, maybe you're finding that you're sequencing, it's tricky, you want to reverse things, don't worry. We stick with this same pattern with all of our core work so you get plenty of practice. Now you can stay with that foundational move that we just did, but for the purposes of this shorter video, we're gonna move on. But by all means, stay with that foundational exercise if you're still trying to find it. Otherwise, we're gonna come up to this position where your hips are bent to 90 and your knees are bent to 90. And instead of pointing your feet, go ahead and flex your feet so that you're active through your lower body. Again, check in with your pelvis. If you're feeling this already in your low back, you might need to draw your knees a little bit closer towards your chest. That'll take some pressure off of your low back. Otherwise, you can bring your knees to more of a perpendicular position. My legs are still hip width distance apart, and again, I'm active through my lower body. We're going to do that same exercise here, starting with the ball right at chest level. Instead of squeezing the ball between my thighs, I'm gonna squeeze it in my hands. So inhale, find soft. On an exhale, I'm gonna squeeze the ball, but I'm finding inner thighs lifting through pelvic floor and hugging in through my belly. Inhale, find soft. Exhale, give the ball a squeeze and engage through those deep core muscles. Again, you're not seeing me move a whole lot. You can see that I'm squeezing on the ball and then I'm exhaling and engaging those deep core muscles. Last one here, as we are holding in more of a static position, we're gonna add some movement to this. Again, you would stay here, exhale, engage if you're not finding it. Last one, we're gonna add on. For our add-on, arms are gonna reach overhead. Your elbows are not locked out. Keep a slight bend in your elbows and the ball's reaching straight up toward the ceiling and sky. Same movement. Inhale, find soft. Exhale, give the ball a squeeze as you find those deep core muscles. We're gonna add on after 2 more. Inhale, find soft. Exhale, give it a squeeze. Engage through those deep core muscles. Last one here, and then we're gonna add a heel drop. Exhale, engage. You would stay here if you're not able to find those deep core muscles. Otherwise, on your next inhale, let everything go soft. Exhale, give the ball a squeeze. Find those deep core muscles. Right heel drops down to the floor and comes right back up on your exhale. Let's stay with just right leg again. Inhale, find soft. Exhale, give a squeeze. Find those deep core muscles. Right heel drops down on the exhale and comes right back up. Inhale, you're back in your starting position. Exhale, engage. One more on the right side as you exhale, engage, lower down and back up. We're gonna switch to left leg. Inhale, find soft, release. Exhale, engage those deep core muscles. Left heel drops down to the mat and comes back up to the start. Inhale, find soft. Exhale, hug in, course it in through your belly, lifting up, kegling through your pelvic floor and back to that starting position. Inhale, find soft. One more time on the left side. Exhale, engage. Quality here over quantity. Our next add-on is to add upper body. Again, you would stay at that move we just did if you're needing more time there. Otherwise, inhale, find soft here. Exhale, engage, squeeze the ball. Exhale, reaches arms overhead, heel drops down. You come back to the start, all on your exhale, same leg. Inhale, find soft. Exhale, reach, and back to the start. Your inhale is here, full inhale. Exhale, one more time, right leg. Lifting up through pelvic floor, hugging in through your belly. We're gonna switch to left side. Stay engaged through your feet. Make sure you're still flexing. As you exhale, heel drops down. It just taps down and comes back up. My arms are reaching straight to the sky and then elbows to ears on my exhale. I notice that what I need to do after I inhale, I need to find those muscles first and then I can hold them while I move. I'm gonna do one more on the left side, then we take a break. Good. And then I'm going to release, hug your knees into your chest, roll it out, maybe take happy baby. For happy baby, you could straighten one leg, As you bend the other leg, be playful, have a little fun and happy baby. Good. You're going to make your way to your side to come on up. How are you doing? Good. We're going to do some standing movement here. We're going to pick up the pace just a little bit. Again, we would usually have a little bit more in between before we would come all the way up to standing, but just for this abbreviated session, we're going to come on up to standing. So in this standing position, let me go ahead and adjust our camera. Hi. So we get up a little bit higher. All right. So up in this standing position, you're going to take a wide stance. Your feet are wider than hip width distance apart. We're going to do goddess squat, same core breath. On an inhale, sit down into your goddess squat. Exhale, give the ball a squeeze as you rise on up. Inhale, find soft. Exhale, engage as you rise up. Oftentimes in class, I'll talk about blueberries and jellyfish. The blueberry part is your pelvic floor, that on your exhale, you're drawing up and in. On your inhale, you're releasing. Notice how my hand starts to look a little bit like a jellyfish, or you're drawing a blueberry up and in. Inhale, you're releasing the blueberry. We've got 2 more here. Stay with that breath. Inhale brings you down. Gravity helps you. Exhale, work against gravity. Last 2. And last 1. You're gonna stay down here. Good. And then we like to play a little bit. So we're gonna pass the ball under. So we're doing a figure 8. We work on coordination and balance oftentimes in class. We are playing catch and tree pose on Friday. Last 3. Keep breathing now. Just breathe your breath. Last 2. And last 1. Inhale, sit 1 inch lower. Exhale, rise on up. Good. Walk your feet in. Shake that up. That was set number 1. We're going to do another set, so hopefully your heart rate is coming up. We're going to stay with that ball. Again, you could be using a pillow. Sometimes we do 45 seconds on and 15 seconds off. We're going to come back to that wider goddess squat. Inhale brings us down. Exhale, rise on up. Now, if you were having any increased symptoms here as you were doing goddess squat, a couple things. You could make your stance more narrow. You could also go a little bit more shallow. Don't go quite as deep. Last 2. And 1 more. Inhale, you're gonna sit it down and hold. We're gonna do heel lifts. So you're holding down in this position. Your breath is just flowing. So oftentimes people will say, well, how do I engage my core here? See what comes naturally to you. We can engage our core on both our inhale and exhale. So when we do this more effortful position, you're going to engage because you've already worked those deep core muscles. Last 3, 2, and then last 1. On an inhale, sit 1 more inch and come all the way up on an exhale. Walk that in. We have 1 more set of our goddess squats. So about 15 seconds in between. Good. We're gonna widen our stance out 1 more time. We have 1 more set of goddess squats. Knees and feet are angled out to the corner edges. Inhale brings you down. Exhale, rise up. I'm giving the ball a squeeze. That's my cue to engage through core muscles. Last 2. And last 1. We'll come all the way up. We'll sink down into our goddess squat. We're gonna bring the ball overhead and we're gonna work triceps here like you're throwing the ball for 8, 7, 6, 5. Wiggle your toes. 4, 3, 2. You're not done. Last 1. We're gonna do bicep curls for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, sits you 1 more inch. Exhale, rise on up. Walk that in. Shake that out. So sometimes our core work up here in standing. Again, we might hold. We might use our same core breath. Just shake that out. We're going to go ahead and let the ball come down just as we stretch out just a little bit to bring your heart rate down. Feet come into about hip width distance apart. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. On an exhale, side bend to either side. Looking down at your bottom hand or up underneath your reaching hand. Inhale brings you out, back up tall. Goal poster goddess arms. And then overhead, Exhale to the other side. Keep some softness in your knees so you're not locking your knees. Down at your bottom hand. Up and underneath your reaching hand, stretching your neck. And then inhale overhead. This time release and grab opposite, forearms or elbows back behind. Space between ears and shoulders. Good, release, inhale overhead. Bring your palms to press and down, down, down to chest and heart center. Shake that out, come on down. We're going to go into a half kneel position just to do some final stretching here. Holding on to a block or books can help as you shift front to back, just stretching out lower body, hip flexor as you shift forward, hamstring and calf as you draw back. Last 3, 2, and last 1. We're gonna make our way through center. I'm gonna rise on up and walk over to the other side. Into my half kneel, unflip my back toes, and shift front to back. Again, this is all about a stretch. I like having my hands to the inside of my front foot. You could always frame your foot with your hands to do this same stretch. Last 3, 2, and last 1. Good, we're gonna walk through and back to center to come on down to have a seat. So come on down and have a seat. Thank you for taking a little bit of time to learn about Core and Floor Fitness Circle. It really is a mix of lots of different activities, custom made to the level that you are at for each session, for each person individually. Let me know if you have any questions, and I can't wait to see you in the studio. Have a great day.